a show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on JTV. Good morning, Fire Chief Zebulon. We see some construction work or demolition work happening here at the fire station, knowing and also noticing the blockage of where the trucks usually enter and leave. Curious minds want to know what's happening. If you can explain to us in detail what's happening here at the fire station.
Thank you, Kathy. Good morning. This looks like something new, but it's actually the third part of some refurbishing work that is being done at the fire headquarters. Phase 1, of course, was the upstairs when we had to replace the roof following Hurricane Irma. Phase 2 was downstairs, where we had to make sure that the furnishings and everything were put back and everything was fixed to make the fire officers comfortable. And this is now phase 3, where we're taking down the appliance bay, the section that served as the porch and also that housed the fire trucks. This is going to come down, and a brand new appliance bay is going to go up with 4 slots. It's also going to be raised a bit, and we're going to be using the top for different purposes. So this is, like I said, phase 3 of the renovation works at the fire headquarters.
Okay, why this is necessary?
It is because the structure was compromised during the hurricane. We had large objects strike the appliance bay, and since then we've been having chunks continuing to fall from the top of it. So obviously at some point in time something larger may come down and compromise the safety of the officers, so it needs to be taken down and re-erected.
Okay, and from what I'm seeing with the area that is barricaded, it shows as though you're going to be doing some extension to what you have existing.
Yes, there's going to be 4 bays. So the 4th bay is going to extend further that way to the north into the area that temporarily housed the market. So that's going to give us a little more room to operate.
That means some section of the market who were vending out there would now have to be removed?
Well, I suppose that someone else will speak to that, but all I know is that that space is going to be used for the appliance bay, and whatever negotiations are going on, I think perhaps the ministry or some other entity can speak to that. I can't speak to that.
Okay, the area where the side there, where the fence is,
yes.
Was there anything there before you fenced it?
There was some
barricade,
tents.
I should say.
Yeah, there was some tents there. On top some plastic pallet boards that served as sitting and eating area for some of the vendors over there.
Oh, okay. So what this general structure and renovation represents for the fire station here in Rotown?
It represents not only an extension of the actual structure itself, but a bit of an upgrade as well, because this is going to be a brand new structure and we're going to be using it for different other things. Also, the main concern, of course, was for the safety of the officers. Like I said, we kept having chunks fall from the ceiling and land down there, so it was only a matter of time before somebody got hurt. So hopefully one day after we get that sorted out, maybe we might get a new building.
Get a new
yes,
building. How needed is that new building? Do you really need a new building?
Well, after it had been erected in 1990, I think it had served its purpose well. But there is some concern because that was also impacted during the hurricane. But one step at a time. I'm very thankful for all 3 phases that they have afforded us so far, especially the ongoing phase, and we can look to the future with some hope.
Okay, as I'm machine struck, I remember just sitting up there waiting on you earlier And the noise.
Yes.
How long will your staff have to endure that?
We have been trying to find some alternative accommodations for the staff. Unfortunately, we have not yet been successful. It is quite difficult to operate in these conditions.
Very.
We're going to have to try to move them as far away from the noise as possible. It's not just the noise, but it's the vibrations as well. And of course, the resulting dust. It's a little tough. It's not easy, nor recommended to work in a construction site. But we're going to see if we can continue looking. Perhaps we can find some accommodations, but that had always been the plan. Unfortunately, we were simply not successful.
But with the staff move, which means that you would have to move your operations as well.
Yes.
Currently, I'm seeing the fire trucks are in the back area of this. There's there a plan to move that as well?
If we could find the accommodations, then we would. It would require not only moving the appliances, but also quite an array of communications equipment, telephones, radios, and that sort of thing, as well as accommodations for the electronic servers. I don't like the idea of the officers having to work in these conditions. Unfortunately, when it comes to a fire station or police station or an ambulance service, you need accommodations that are specific to fit their needs. And that is what's making it difficult to find those alternative accommodations.
No, so what is the time frame you're looking at with the construction, demolition, construction, and completion of the project that's now on?
I am not quite sure. I think that it should probably run down towards the end of the year, as far as I know.
So that's a long time.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So anything that you would like to communicate to the general public as it relates to what they're seeing, and if there will be any impact on the community in terms of your ability to effectively serve?
We're going to do our best, regardless of what's happening, to serve the public. That's first and foremost. Our number one mandate is to save lives. And even in the light of this, we are not going to compromise our ability to respond. I would also like to thank the public for their continued support and understanding. There are a lot of things that we need, and public support sometimes, most times, often lends a strong hand in doing that. So I thank them again for the support, and I look forward to the continued support, because we all have to do this together. When it comes to firefighting, we're the ones with the trucks and the uniforms and the equipment, but it's usually a community effort.
Okay, and my mind runs back to something I would have seen in conversation and raising some concerns about, and that is the maintenance of fire hydrants. What's the process like for that, and how often is that? I can safely say I saw a discussion around, I think there was a fire in some part of East End, I think it was recently, and persons explained seeing the officers having to dig up a whole lot of dirt before they can get to. You want to explain to us the situation with maintaining of fire hydrants?
We need to put forward a greater effort to collaborate with the other agencies. Sometimes you have other entities doing their own construction around the site of the hydrants, whether it's the utility companies or some of our own agencies. And sometimes we are not quite on the same page. So by the time we get there, there's either been asphalt laid or other structures placed on or around the hydrants. So I think we all need to do a better job communicating what the intention is for that area, so that when we need the hydrant, we can get to it.
Okay, but generally, what's your program like in servicing and maintaining hydrants? If that's your direct responsibility.
Yes. Once a week, the guys will go to the various hydrants, check them, make sure the site is cleared, and make sure they're working. So we do that each and every week until we can get to all of them. Some of them we haven't quite gotten back to yet because of the numbers, and of course some of the other work. But that is usually the plan.
Okay. What's happening with East End Fire Station? How are things there?
Well, we have an appliance and an officer there now, but we're hoping to upgrade that station as well. I can't comment too much on those plans because I don't have the details, but that has always been the intention. Hopefully we can get that done in the near future.
Okay. All right, Zebulon, thank you so much for the brief update, and we look forward to seeing things happening.
Yes, as do I. As do I. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Large and small corporations in the BVI can't be wrong. Bovi HR, a BVI-based integrated solution of employee timesheets, leave tracking, scheduling, employment letters, HR processes, pay slips, and tax reports, including NHI, Social Security, and Inland Revenue, will make your management of employees easier. While Bovi HR can cater to the needs of larger enterprises, it also works exceptionally well for small companies. To sign up, visit bovihr.com, that is BOVIHR.com, or call us at 342-9686.